Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us at the MarketSite studio with Brian Comiskey, Director of Thematic Programs at the Consumer Technology Association, known as CTA. He joins me to discuss the new evolution of digital utilities that include cybersecurity, cloud computing, AI, robotics, and how the Nasdaq CTA Indexes support these themes. It is great to have you with us, Brian, in studio for the first time.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
You got it. And CTA has operated in the thematic index space for over a decade, identifying key technology trends shaping the global economy. What notable trends are CTA currently monitoring?
Of course. From a trends perspective, the global economy is facing a variety of interconnected long-term challenges. We see a more vulnerable cyberspace as greater online activity increases the chances for costly cyber attacks. We have the need for a flexible work environment, but also ensuring staff can meet business productivity. And of course, we see a workforce shortage that is being strained as heightened demand strains labor resources. So when we see these three challenges, what's going to be the key is innovation in certain technological areas to continue the successful functioning of the global economy. In particular, cybersecurity, AI and robotics, and cloud computing are going to really provide what are the three key S's to enterprise: security, scalability, and simulation, to ensure the continued successful operation of the global economy.
Let's talk more about cybersecurity for a moment here. What has changed to make this technology even more critical for enterprises?
Yeah, of course. So we see a greater digital footprint for both consumers and enterprises alike. So as a result, you have the growth of cyberspace vulnerability, as well as an evolution of threats including in terms of type, scale, and velocity. For the 85% of organizations have been successfully impacted by some form of cyber attack in the last year alone. And so as a result, you're not just looking at traditional malware problems, but instead new threats like cryptojacking, as well as encrypted attacks and ransomware. And in terms of the velocity, every 11 seconds, according to Cybersecurity Ventures, there's a ransomware attack, and the payouts have increased dramatically, 300% in the last year. So you're seeing an average payout about $800,000 per incident. So when you think about that threat landscape, we've seen an evolution in the types of services to allow protection, really a tapestry of protection between identity access management tools, asset management visibility, and technological cybersecurity consulting services to ensure enterprise data is secure, as well as consumers are having their data secured. So as a result, you see that companies are going to be investing robustly in cybersecurity. We're looking at about $172 billion worldwide spending, according to Gartner, for enterprises alone.
Yeah, well, let's switch gears and talk about cloud for a moment here, because it became a major growth driver during the pandemic. But do you think this technology is going to continue to remain important?
Of course. So the pandemic was, in a lot of ways, the ultimate stress test in the cloud, right? Really showcasing the agility and reliability of cloud to meet remote and hybrid work models. Hybrid work models aren't really going to be going anywhere when we think about it, right? A lot of companies are still working in that space. In fact, 80% of firms are looking to maintain or increase their budgets for infrastructure as a service platforms. So really, cloud computing is going to operate as the backbone to the next generation of the internet and be a nexus for a lot of technologies to work in harmony to provide just a stronger, more coherent internet experience for consumers and enterprises alike. And that's not just large businesses. Small businesses, as well as creator level economies, are going to be using platform and software as a service solutions to ensure that they can scale up their business to make sure that they're meeting heightened consumer demand.
So we've spoken about security, scalability. I want to talk about the third S, which is simulation. How are AI and robotics playing into that when you think about the innovation that's addressing this area?
Yeah, of course. And so when we think about AI and robotics, they're really horizontal technologies, improving the efficiency and optimal performance of a variety of other technology areas, including cybersecurity and cloud computing. We are producing about 2.5 quintillion bytes of data every day. That's 2.5 followed by 18 zeros. Very hard to grasp and comprehend what that is. So when we think about what AI is going to do, it's going to improve a lot of areas like client relationship management solutions, as well as chatbots, and making sure that we're able to address certain workforce gaps. So if we're looking right now, we expect about $2.1 million workforce shortage in manufacturing. So not surprisingly, in Q1 of 2022, there was a 40% increase in workplace robot orders to make sure that we're addressing this gap. Because if we're going to produce this much data, as much as we want to make sure we have humans responding to it, that's so much that there has to be an automated response to it. So AI is going to continue to evolve to better simulate human productivity.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so much to wrap your
Yeah.
head around when it comes to innovation. It's really quite fascinating. Before we let you go here, anything else to add?
Yeah, of course. And so as I've described the three of them almost siloed, but in a lot of ways, cybersecurity, AI, and cloud computing must work together to really operate as digital utilities in the sense that if you need power and and water to operate your business, you're going to need all three of these. They're not optional upgrades anymore. And so this is an area that we're going to be monitoring at CTA as part of our suite of index products that we partner with Nasdaq on, including the Nasdaq CTA Cybersecurity Index, the Nasdaq CTA AI and Robotics Index, and the ISE CTA Cloud Computing Index. And more importantly, we're also going to be seeing these live on the show floor at CES come January 5th through 8th in Las Vegas. So it's an exciting time for all three of these product areas and for consumers and enterprises alike.
All right, appreciate the insight, Brian. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.